high side.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I think we're ready to get started. Call the meeting to order, 6:30 in March. And we have here Rebecca Hanson, John Kelly, Eugene Thurston, Steve Whitman, Bill Bolton, myself, and Sharon. So we're going to have any public comments that are unrelated to the agenda. Seeing none, we're going to move on to the approval of the minutes from January 12th, which you have in front of you.
I move that they be accepted as written.
You moved?
I moved.
Second.
Second. If there are no objections, they are now accepted. All right, February 4th minutes. Any comments or motions regarding same?
I move to accept these minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, if there are no objections, they are so accepted. On to new business.
These little party favors, it's the cheat sheet for going to SurveyMonkey and seeing what we're accumulating for responses. Kind of interesting, so
Okay.
there you go.
Anything else from you, Sharon? or-
Not really, I just gave you a reiteration, I think it was from NCC originally, of what happened at the public visioning session, because there were a couple folks I don't think got them, but these guys aren't here, so it's just the same thing rewritten, I believe.
Okay. The guitarist with us tonight, and I want to move to where we're going next. I see we got a chair for you up here, I think.
Got a few.
You can choose.
So I guess the first thing we got to do is check and see if everyone completed their homework assignment.
Which was?
We started ours.
Yeah.
We gave a pretty solid start.
Good.
Okay. All right. And I think Bill did our homework.
Yep.
So we're-
And these two aren't here, so who knows? Maybe that's why they're not here.
They're in the car.
No. Excuse, yeah, they're in the car, right? Teachers.
So, Tara, do you want to take over? You want Bill to give us an update? Because I think.
Yeah, I think I'm mostly here for an update and to see what I can get from you.
Okay. So, Bill, do you want to kind of give the summary of the
Sure.
university?
All right. So I contacted, well, actually, what the intent was to pull together a university meeting with PSU and principals and also the town regarding looking at both master plans, or at least the intent was to focus on our master plan by also looking at theirs. And so I was kind of like busy calling Jim Hunreiser's office, finding out that Jim, as vice president, would be available at certain times. And we decided to kind of target times that would be agreeable to his calendar, and then also invite other people like Steve Taxar, who was, very familiar with the, the university master plan, to also be there as well. Steve Temporino, University Police Chief, also other university staff. So anyway, we're trying to target like a date that was like amenable to everybody there, also Tara's calendar and ours. And it looked like April 29th was going to be a good day, and then it became April 27th due to the non-availability of Steve Taxar. It appears that we may be able to, have him at a meeting on the 27th. And as of today, working with his secretary, we're just kind of reserving that spot.
27th.
Yep. And right now, it looks like the 27th from 3 to 5 is pretty much what we're zeroing in on.
So that's session number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the title of that session? Don't see it in the minute.
I have university relations and interface, which we gleaned from the minutes, but
Okay.
I don't know if you want to keep that working title or not.
What was the time?
3 p.m. to 5.
Day of the week is that? Wednesday?
No, I thought it wasn't a Friday, was it?
No, 29th was a Friday.
Moved from the Friday program.
And, I mean, currently, everything is, I mean, so I also spoke with Jim Hunterice, the secretary or administrative assistant, and she actually reserved rooms for Friday as well as Wednesday, so we still have those two to choose from. In a conversation I had with, Steve's appointment secretary today, it was possible that he's not available at any time that week. So then I suggested, well, does he have like an alternate, or can he suggest somebody to be there instead of him? And that, I didn't get a response from that one. So it's likely that the 27th might be a fit for everybody, even Steve.
Where is it supposed to be held?
Where it's going to be held?
Yeah.
So it was very generous of Jim's administrative assistant, Debbie Cole. She kept on working on this, even though it was still up in the air. And she reserved, it was the, Hub 119. So it's the Student Senate room at the Hub, room 119.
I think we had the handout that I did, I called it integrating Plymouth State University planning with municipal planning.
Okay.
As a topic. I don't know if you want to call it the title, but that's.
Do you want me to disseminate this to these guys? I can go make some copies. That was in what I was forwarded, but you guys were having the conversation. This document,
With the thing that
the
Tara
working
put
agenda,
together?
the draft agenda for this first roundtable, I can go do that. Or,
It's in the, I'm looking at the cover letter for the treasury. I don't have in my hand what you do, but that's how we described the 4 topics when we met here.
yeah, oh no, this is the agenda for the PSU thing. That's what I,
Yeah, there were 6 bullets that you prepared.
yeah. Do you want me to make copies for the rest of you? I'll go do that. I can get a survey too while I'm down there.
Well, let me continue too, for the fact that, for the invitees, I want to make sure that Don Burks is like, at least invited, and he may indeed show up, as president. And the vice president for enrollment management and student affairs, that's Jim Hunterizer. And the dean of students, Jeff Furlong, who oversees some of the building, I believe, as similar to what Tim, what's his name, did it initially. Crap.
Keith.
Tim Keefe, yeah. And then also Steve Taxar, his title is Vice President for Financial Administration, and he oversees both the build-outs and as well as the master plan. And the Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management is Steve Temporino. He's not the police chief, he's actually the Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management. And I also wanted the current student body president. And actually, Debbie gave me his name, so we'll invite him as well.
Was there also a woman who was assigned to community outreach? I can't remember the position.
Kara Barker?
It came up at the visiting session we had, I thought.
It was Kara Barker, as she does the scheduling for the CCC, which is the Community and College, I forget the acronym's meaning, but CCC. And, that's like a periodic meeting of the town and university and property owners. Kara, actually, I spoke with her, but,
It would be good if we could add Ellen Shippey.
yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
Public,
Yep,
physical
Ellen
plant. Yeah.
And also local property owners that cater to student rentals, as well as those that are affected by student rentals, as well as the PSU development projects that have been recently identified. There's been some, local residents who are negatively affected, and some that are probably positively affected.
Would you use the CCC to get out to those folks, both the off-campus landlords and interested neighbors.
So I talked to Kara about her mailing list. I kind of wanted her mailing list. And she's, wanted to be helpful by saying just, give me what you want to disseminate, and she'll disseminate it. So we can do that as well. But I think by these names and people, that pretty much identifies most of the people that show up for the CCC anyway, on our mailing list.
I think we were gonna ask that people RSVP to these so that we, not required, but ask that, so that we have an idea of our audience and participants and numbers. That'll help us prepare for how to facilitate the discussion.
Did you speak to disseminating this, the announcement of this when I was downstairs? No? Not yet.
Everything's done. No.
Smoke signals?
I'm sure we can utilize for the PSU people, either Debbie or this Luann, who's Chief Tax Artist Administrative Assistant. I'm sure they can disseminate it.
We're getting excellent student feedback on the surveys, I mean, in terms of numbers, just as an aside, because of that connection with Jim Hundreiser going through, linking to their school email.
Yeah, there are 200, as of right today, 239 responses via the PSU link and 120 from the town website.
I didn't check today.
I did.
Yeah, and we've got 250 at least paper surveys back.
Awesome.
Filled out, so that's over 500.
Or how many PSU?
239 responses from the PSU link. It's divided into the two links.
Mhm.
120 from the town website.
Okay.
It's the duplicates.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Okay, when I gave you the address list, it didn't have any duplicates on it.
I don't think that address list got communicated to.
Because I spent quite a bit of time doing that, and it didn't have any duplicates unless they had a different column. And there might be somebody that owns property
I
with
got
6
lost.
different family
This is
members.
different.
No, I think that's exactly what it was, where there was, there was like
Well,
two
it's by
sheets of
property.
of
It's by
people that-
parcel.
Yeah.
So, well, learn by doing, I guess. Well, that didn't.
Will we get a response rate, even if people are getting these in the mail and then going online to fill out the survey? That's what I did.
Well,
That's what a lot of us did.
Yeah.
we can, because we'll know how many property owners
Okay.
responded,
Oh, yeah.
because it asked that.
Yep.
And it's not gonna be an exact science because of the people that
Right.
might not share it with the co-owner, or,
Yeah, it seems last time we did this was 40% that responded. I'm thinking, how the heck did they come up with that number? So I think we can come up with a number equally as good. 50%, yeah.
That sounds good.
Well, we'll be able, we could take that list and we could count from that list the unique number of property owners, the number of unique property owners. And then we'll know how many property owners, how many people filled out the survey said they're property owners, so.
Mm.
But voters, we can't, because there's so many bad,
Right.
there's so many people that just aren't here anymore.
When I pulled out duplicates with just address, even just an address to apartment number, I think I pulled out 2,000 right away. If we just mail it to the registered voter so there's a lot of people, we're missing a lot of names on that list, but if you just mail it to registered voter
Because I do have labels. Remember how this whole shebang started? So we could cull them, manually, but.
No, I don't think, no, because it already is, I just pulled out everything that had, if there was, I couldn't find myself on the list because there's been so many people who've registered to vote at my address that it just pulled off everybody except for maybe one of them.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a few different versions of that mailing list by now. And I could tell you that the one I did didn't have any duplicates on it, but.
Let's stick with your list.
Oh, yeah.
As far as a benchmark for comparison of the
But that was
responses.
property owners.
No, I did voting list too.
Oh, voting, oh, good.
That's right, it was combined, yeah.
Okay,
It was
yeah, see, I
combined.
wasn't really in on that, so you guys know what
Yeah,
you're.
we're all kind of like copied on it and stuff.
No, but I mean, you guys know where you're at in terms of status now, and it's a little
To
vague.
be
for
frank, I
me.
think once I determined that we had printed all the labels, I figured, there's no point in doing anything
But we had
further.
pre-printed all the labels.
Yeah, I know, I thought we were gonna be printing it off of like a deduplicated.
Well, we can, we
Well,
can.
it's kind of late for that, but,
With the postcards, if we're sending it out, they should just mail it.
can we send out, like, the spreadsheet?
Yeah, we just mail them the
Perfect.
artwork
All
spreadsheet.
right.
Give them a bunch of money, and then, a week later, it shows up in everyone's mailboxes, so, yeah.
All right.
Ooh, and a bunch of money is a credit card.
Yes. I don't know.
I love living between worlds here. Okay, that'll be interesting. All right, we'll figure something out.
Any idea when it will?
Well, as soon as you finalize it should be
Or we can get the
first of
list.
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as these guys finalize that list, the voter list, pull out the PSU students, the current.
Or any dorm addresses is basically what we have to do.
Do you want to talk about tentative dates for the other workshops so that we can start getting those on our calendars and finding location and.
Either way, we
talk to
had
the students at
our
our-
old-fashioned media, print journalism, there was a nice, I called the gal up and asked her, we spoke on whenever it was, I don't know, Monday, I guess. So there's a decent small article about the process on the front page below the fold of Plymouth Record Enterprise, and it's probably 15 paragraphs, goes to a jump page inside, and it speaks to, I made a point to speak about the roundtable discussions and the general topics and the general timeframe, so that's out there for people that, that's their media.
Okay, so after April 27th.
Right, so after the 27th, we need 3 other dates. And I think we want to have them in the evening, they're more ones that the public.
Yep.
Get to.
Well, you do have your work sessions, which are fairly light, for starters, if that was a date, the first Thursday.
Yeah,
That's not good for you?
Hopefully, no offense, but I'm hopefully.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, good meeting.
Every time we schedule something, I'm like, well, there goes that week of vacation that's not happening. Give it up. I know.
Vacation, but. That'll be in July, but, if you want to look at Thursday, I have the 12th and 26th available.
Second, fourth.
And June 2nd.
There's a calendar behind Jean, if you guys need to see a
June
calendar.
2nd's one of your regular dates. Every Thursday in June is good for me till, except the last week. I am
Yeah.
hoping to go on vacation.
Well, we can't schedule on the third Thursday, because we don't know what we're getting for applications, but we have that
Yeah.
first Thursday option.
Well, how about the 2nd and 4th, May 12th and 26th?
Works for me.
Any comments?
The 12th is not awesome for me.
This is May.
Of May, yeah. I mean, I could be present, but I might not be able to be fully present.
So
Is it because of the week?
It's fine. I have a final due the next
which
day.
topic are you
Well, right,
working on?
because, yeah, they're doing natural
I-
resources.
Yeah.
So
If it could not be my topic.
So
then
let's make sure it's not your topic.
Right.
And so do you want to use June 2nd for the other one? We need 3 more dates.
That's Thursday.
That's your usual workshop
Yeah.
date, yeah. And then we can make that natural resources so that you're done with, okay. I don't know. That makes sense.
It's natural and cultural, right?
Right, historical, yeah, we'll read the,
June 2nd works for me too,
okay.
in the evening.
Yeah, I think those should be evening and.
That's our regular
That's how,
scheduled time here, so we could just hold it here.
based on the people working.
No,
that's what
it's gonna be participatory for the
Okay.
people that come, so let me see if we can get, a senior center, if not, maybe we can get something at PSU.
Or the library.
Yeah,
Yeah, the library might be
Library.
good. Kinda
that's a
like-
lot less,
Yep.
yeah, the
How-
senior center's fine, but there's a lot of particulars and paperwork. and-
How big is, I don't know, we've used it a lot. How
The
big
library,
is?
the conference room downstairs?
Yeah, I haven't seen
They
it.
can hold like 100 people,
Okay.
Yeah,
or 70 people.
And you
and
can
we had
overflow.
52 at the senior center. We had 52 at the senior center, not counting staff.
Okay, so that's a first,
Are we gonna have this all formalized so that you're gonna send all this information out?
sorry?
Are you gonna be able, will we be able to get a formal, final, version of what you people are talking about?
Oh, yeah, we'll work together on a press release and,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So for June 2nd, we're looking at 6:30, like a normal.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it seems to be a decent time.
So do you want to use May 12th for one of the other sessions? We can change the order if you want.
Right. Um, You want to start with community facilities?
I think we should, but these guys are both teachers, so I'm not sure, I can't really speak to their schedule.
2 months away.
Well, we could slot it
Appropriateness.
in until we talk to them.
And what day is that?
It's
Thursday
Thursday.
again?
Well, we kind of
All
stick with
Thursdays,
Thursdays,
okay.
yeah.
You would
Yep.
assume that they're would be here.
Yeah, I think Brian's coaching track at the university sometimes on Thursdays. So
That's
that'll
right,
go over.
but he has wandered over after,
Yeah.
because I fed him, because he was so hungry.
Good.
It's just-
He accepted an appointment to the planning board, and he must be generally available Thursday.
Right.
I think so.
So we've got 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
Oh, we're 4 out of 4, right?
no, not for schedules.
What?
But on the 26th then? Is that,
Oh, I didn't hear that.
is that what I heard? It's
Yeah, that was the
26.
second date in May there. That was-
Yeah, so then that would be business
Is it?
growth.
Okay,
So the 26th of May would be business group?
so that's John and Jean. 26. Do we want to try to do that? Do we want to try to do these all at the library? Do we want to mix it up? I mean,
If we get the library, that's,
I'd
Might
like
be
to
easy.
stick with one venue. It's a
Yeah.
lot
I
less
think that'd be
Less
easier.
confusing.
confusion and just organizational
Yeah,
stuff.
so I'll check into them in that order, the library, the senior center.
Okay.
PSU. If we meet on April,
sorry.
so I think we're in good shape, right, to meet on April 7th to kind of finalize the plans for all of these.
So when we
Order
do,
of service, kind of.
will there be like a session description that we can share so we can outreach to the groups that we've identified?
Right, I can,
Because it seems like that's early enough that at least for most of ours, May and June.
Yeah. Right, so in the next couple of weeks, if you can confirm with these guys that they can do,
With
these guys that they can do.
Andy and
Yeah,
Right.
Brian?
the 12th,
Sure.
and I'll line up a location and draft the descriptions and the goals and whatnot.
So just, if I could add one thing, I think if we have the descriptions, knowing some of the folks that Rebecca and I talked about, we talked initially about organizations, groups that will be interested in the topic, that will want to reach out to the members who will help maybe identify people that none of us know, but also just brainstorming some of the actual people that we reach out for natural and cultural resources. They're going to be some of the same people that are going to want to go to business or community facilities. So they're going to want to have a sense of all four. And they're going to be probably the same people we run into town showing up for stuff all the time. So I think if we can communicate, this is the one we're asking you to come to, but there are other ones, that would be helpful.
There could be a lot to cover in these sessions. How long do you think people will be willing to work if they come at 6:30? The only thing I'm thinking is that a
2
little
hours
bit late?
max? 2 hours?
Yeah, I think 2 hours is probably max.
Prioritize with that in mind. And I think what I thought I would do too is send out, kind of package the recommendations from the existing plan that go with each session so that people RSVP can be emailed that.
Oh, that's great.
See what's in place already, what
Right,
was
because
anticipated.
of how this
Yeah.
was written in the
Yeah.
scope is that this would be to use the survey results to update the recommendations in the plan.
That's
So-
also why I passed out that reiteration of the visioning session to everybody, so it's hopefully a little helpful when you're thinking about what you want to see in your group. Jean and John is May
What's that?
12, you're on the 26th. May 26th, work with your personal schedules for your business roundtable?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's too bad that, I'm not gonna have the survey results a little bit sooner. I'll have to I'll start each meeting presenting the most relevant results that we have for each of those.
Yeah, I've got
They won't have them to think
I've
about
got
ahead of
our
time.
intern, our PSU intern Josie working on the paper surveys, starting to, just kind of correlating with Rebecca on just the format and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's gonna,
Get
the
it.
sooner that we have those, the better, then, but we're gonna have to give the postcard people some time. So, it's gonna be a little last minute with that stuff.
I can make the, as I've been emailing with Josie,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
I
I
can
asked
make
her to do
a
that.
third link to the survey for any manually entered, if we want to set.
It looks like there is already a place there.
Right, but they'd be associated with specific, I think either
It would-
one of the,
Oh, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure how that
Group
worked.
of,
Yeah,
But
so I
I
could just
saw
make
the
a
place to
third
click for manual
entry points,
yeah, so I might just I can make a third link and then she could manually, I think it just makes sense for her to enter it right into.
Whatever you guys, I'm supervising, but I said, you guys, you talk to each other and make it the easiest thing for you two. I don't need to micromanage that.
Is that for the paper?
Yeah.
Then we can
Just dump it right
tabulate it
into
all
data.
together.
Yeah, and I think there's less room for error there too.
And then we have questions about, well, who has been here more than 10 years that wondered about this question or felt this way, we can cross-tabulate a little bit.
Yeah, and it tells you where your groups are, your access points too, so that's kind of interesting. So it's chugging along. Next time we do this, next time you do it, I'll be retired. No, it should be.
So who will
I see a
still be
lot of
working, but-
attrition
A couple of
here.
us will still be here,
You guys will know what you're doing.
or hiding somewhere else.
Although the technology will have changed again, so there you go. But anyway.
Were we gonna talk about
Everyone
distribution
understand it anymore.
some more? And the reason I ask is, a couple of us have posted it like via Facebook. Haven't seen it on any institution pages. The other thing is I asked my kids very nicely to fill it out, and it was really interesting to see what they came up with. For one, clearly they've been conditioned somewhat by their parents, so some of their answers were similar, which was interesting. But then they had some really creative ideas, especially in like listing a resource. Stuff that they thought of was not stuff that I thought of. Once they identified it, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. But I don't know, we reached out to the school to get, some of the classes to fill them out. I've made my PSU students fill it out.
You mean the university level or?
High school? Kids that live here?
I don't know how you feel about that. I mean,
We've tried to do that in other communities and been told we couldn't.
Why?
That they couldn't distribute information from other parties, even if it was the town.
It's online.
It's
Yeah.
worth that, I know,
You mean
but it
because
was,
they're minors?
We've had great success doing it with other schools.
yeah.
And I just, watching two teenagers fill it out, it was interesting the conversations we had, because now they were interested in what the planning board does.
I think
And I think that's the
I think it's a good idea.
I mean, yeah, there's no harm because I mean, if you could get their information, it's,
I mean, we want them to feel, 'cause a lot of people that have approached me that said they're really pleased the planning board did this, they feel like that we're asking them what they think, and they feel that really validating. And I think the same for kids, if we'd like some of these kids to maybe come back or stick around.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you've got an age level thing because you know what I'm saying, the
But you'll
data.
see, I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you can filter that right out.
Yeah.
right.
If you wanted to.
right. Just an idea.
Would that be thrown in with the general information, or would it be indicating that they were students
Yeah.
of a certain age?
duplicate.
But the demographic information helps you figure that out, because there's an under 17 category that we
Okay.
gave, and then there's, they identify as they're a student, they don't have property. So it was interesting as I watched them pick through the questions, I'm like, oh yeah, if we were to search this, I would know, this is a kid. I don't know how old this kid is, but it's a kid. So if they want water slides in the common, then we can address that.
Well,
I mean, it
well, I'm
has
getting
the, it
at
has the 17 or under
They,
category, so
they, they would love all this stuff, but who's gonna pay for it?
Well, there you go.
You'd be surprised how astute kids are. I was really impressed. And I think I would be, having seen other kids do it, they get this. And where they don't get it, they don't answer the questions, kind of like adults.
But the nice thing because we bought the Survey Monkey where we can do cross tabulations,
Right.
we can say, here's how the 17 and under answered, and here's how everybody else
Yeah.
answered too.
Well, I mean,
So how can we get it in front of the schools?
that's word of mouth. Well, there's a point person there.
Yeah, I'm just one parent. If these guys are
Say
here,
they
they
have
would have had
teachers?
thoughts on specific teachers.
I'd say social studies
Oh,
teachers,
okay.
civics teachers, something like that.
Well, actually, my daughter's taking civics right now, too.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Well, I'm thinking of just approaching Bruce Parsons. And just,
That's a great idea.
yeah,
That's
and
the
then-
principal, and let him disseminate.
we have said
And if
that,
we get
it's
kind of-
duplicable, so, if you want to.
If we get kind of pushback from, not pushback from him per se, actually could approach Halloran too, for that matter, but that's a little bit too top to bottom, I guess,
Right.
but,
But it is a good civics lesson tool.
Yep.
And we have the digital link. I wouldn't even bother with paper.
No,
copies.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not bothering with any more paper, thank
So-
you. Then,
And we might not get that many responses, but I think it's the gesture of asking that I think is as important.
maybe my daughter will get extra credit for this, or if she approaches a civics teacher.
Who knows?
Your kid must be taking civics too, right?
He's taking it next year.
Oh, okay. You want me to hit Bruce up? And
If you know him and you're willing to, I just think it's good. I mean, we're trying to reach a
We've
diverse.
had a couple of kids that went through high school.
You know.
Well, I think, the simple way to look at that, it's their future you're planning.
Exactly.
and it's not like a vote or something, Yeah, I mean, in terms of the monetary thing, it's an opinion.
I'll go in tomorrow.
You're a doer.
So
everybody's comfortable with these dates and their timelines.
Is everybody okay with that?
I think it's great.
I read it. So who's gonna call the principal?
Not Billis, he's gonna go talk to him tomorrow.
Unfortunately, my daughter's like driving herself to school now, so usually I just like drop her off and walk in, but now I'll have to like make a special trip. I could do it, it's a mile and a half away.
You could call him.
Yeah.
What else we got? Regarding the survey. Focus groups, anything? What's that?
It's just an editorial comment. The handwritten ones are very interesting. I mean, some people have gone to great lengths to opine on things and, you know, I just see the ones that are a little interesting because they'll open and go, look at this. But I think there's been a lot of thought put into the paper ones, at least so far, so. Except a lot of people are hand delivering them now that we put all those self-addressed stamped envelopes. You can't win for trying, you just
Actually,
can't
I didn't
win.
get one.
You didn't?
I'll give you
Why
mine.
not?
The envelope
Plenty.
wasn't in the envelope?
I have a lot downstairs.
Hmm?
Oh, you didn't get a survey?
No, I didn't get I got,
Envelope.
well, I got one and my wife got one, but we only got one envelope.
Oh.
I have plenty down, I'm serious, I have postage paid,
You do?
expended ones down there, so I'll give you.
Okay, great.
Or you can go online and complete it.
Yeah, right.
I've already filled it out.
Okay.
I opined heavily in it, at great length.
You want Sharon to read
You
it?
could have given it to Sharon.
I want my 48.5 cents worth, that's what I want.
Okay, so we all set with the survey, so we can let Tara
Yeah, so we'll check
get
on,
on?
Tara and I'll try to nail down the
Okay.
dates and we'll get that machine chugging along.
Yep.
Is May 26th going to be an issue at all with Memorial Weekend, that being Memorial Weekend?
It's just before.
Yeah, it's the Thursday
Right,
before.
'cause it's a Monday holiday. No,
Yeah.
that's the one that has to be the 30th, isn't it? No, not anymore, it's all
Maybe.
Mondays.
People getting ready to head out.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if people are going to take like a long weekend if they're not going to be able to
It's
attend.
up to you guys to decide.
Well, the 30th is a holiday, but we're talking about the Thursday.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if they're going to take like a long weekend, if they're going to be able to come at 6:30 on a Thursday night if they're heading out like Friday morning, you know what I
That's a
mean?
really long weekend.
A lot of people do
Friday
it.
weekend, so.
That's what it is. It's a good point.
It is a good point. I don't know. You guys.
I don't know, if you go into June, then you have people going on vacation. and
True.
Doesn't have me, but I'm available every Thursday in June except 30th.
What about just pushing it to Wednesday? Would that work?
Make it a day early.
Would that work for you, Tara?
Is that gonna be confusing to people?
I think a Thursday would be fine.
I don't think you're gonna lose that many people. If they're business people that are interested in business forums, I mean, this is just my thought. They're probably open for business on Friday. You know what I'm saying? They're in town for the duration, but it was a good thought because, yeah, those holidays screw everything up. We just shouldn't have them. No,
Yeah.
they screw up my world constantly.
I like them. I get to work without meetings.
Isn't it great? You get to work more.
Yeah, I get more done.
So we're gonna leave it for Thursday.
I think that would be better.
All right, wrapped up. Tara, thanks for coming. Appreciate that. And I think we're close to being done here tonight.
So we'll finalize details on get more in the weeds at our April meeting.
Oh, so the 7th, the work session?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have sent out,
Right, we'll have some.
we'll have sent out the descriptions and done press release and have a location and all, so that date will just be,
Excuse me, the websites.
we'll be talking more about how the 2 hours look.
Great. All right, so we'll close that piece of business. Any other business? From anyone? We're waiting, we do have a public here tonight. Do we have any comments from the public?
Only that would help. The last time we've had meetings for planning at the senior center, I think the last one we were trying to determine what our character of the town was. And people seem to come up short on vocabulary. So on these different sections that you're going to be dealing, separating and having special meetings on, whoever's facilitating them might be helpful to provide vocabulary of the nomenclature of that particular category for the people that show up, so that they can identify with the subject matter, so that, you know, whatever comments that they would probably give, they would have some appropriate word of how you form
The terminology.
terminology. Because I remember it was kind of odd that all the people that were at that meeting to determine our character, after an hours of discussion, we couldn't really nail it down. And I thought that was quite telling, that the mentors of the community couldn't figure out what their character was. So a lot of this is concepts, technology, and political will. So we're talking master plan is a concepting. You got to get through the technology, and then of course the political will is how we prioritize it and see if we want to get it accomplished. Because I was on the planning board for the first master planning back in '83, and a lot of our things that are in that master plan and various projects that we've had listed are the best kept secrets going. And like the Green Street project, that's still an open project that people have long since forgotten what the priorities are, what we have accomplished, what was spent on it, and what we're trying to do in bits and pieces. And the problem is it gets disconnected between different groups. And I'll give you the example, the transfer of property for the skateboard park to the town. But part of the value of that is it allows the town to finish up the project of connecting Green Street to Route 3. So we've been after that for 20 years. But a lot of the people can't visualize the project, and they don't really know how to put their mind around it to even agree that it might be a good idea to complete it, or if it's a value to the town. So you can pick any one of these separate categories, like businesses and industry that we're trying to attract, is people trying to articulate what they would like to see for business, but they don't know the mechanics of how or where that event should be located. So this is one of the problems I've seen over the last 30 years of these charrettes. So I think that it might be helpful for these various meetings to general outline on some of the terminology used in that particular category of discussion that would help the general public.
Good. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. All right, I guess I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
All right, we're done. Thank you, folks. It is over.
Let me pull up that spreadsheet.